And we are now in the kitchen with Executive Master Chef Robert Cillizza from City Dock Restaurant. Do you now know how to properly exfoliate and to get your hair prepared for the warm weather?
Especially in the kitchen when there's no air conditioning.
Absolutely.
I'm going to write everything she said down.
You're all
I've
set
got it.
now.
I got it.
We're working on a recipe with chicken with boursin cheese sauce and Italian cinnamon walnut coffee cake, and we're moving on to the coffee cake.
Correct.
Let's talk about the ingredients for everyone.
Okay.
I know you said it's super cheap.
Yes, we're going to go ahead and start with 3 eggs. Going to get that in there. Get that mixing.
Okay.
And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to blend in a cup and a half of sugar. Tablespoon of vanilla.
It all smells so good already. I smell all that sweetness. And is that on about a medium speed?
Medium, yeah.
Blend it? Or mix it, I should say.
I'll save the flour for high speed since you're here.
That's perfect. Great.
Yeah.
That's why I put this apron on.
Yes.
I'm prepared.
Then I'm going to put in the butter, which is 3/4 of a cup of butter.
Okay.
And again, we're going to blend that again to get that going.
It all smells delicious.
Yeah.
It seems like you can put it together fairly quickly, too, once you have everything measured out.
Real easy to do. Yeah, I can do it at home, no time at all. Now we're going to start with the flour. And what I do first, I put in the baking powder and the baking soda. Doesn't want to come out.
Maybe.
It must be something. I don't know.
So you put this all together before you pour it in.
Yeah,
to there, just kind of mix it yourself.
It's a prep that we do anywhere. Have everything laid out so you got it. Then you can just move right along.
Yeah.
Putting the flour in, it looks like it's going to get real thick, but when I put the sour cream in, the pint of sour cream, then you're going to see the difference of just what happens to the mix.
Well, I wouldn't have thought that sour cream would go into something quite like this.
Yeah. While that's mixing, I'm going to go ahead and get the brown sugar that we have.
Okay.
And the cinnamon. And the walnuts. Now, you can use almonds, you can use whatever you like, but it's a walnut cake. Why would you not want to use walnuts?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
guess
know.
that would make sense.
I mean,
that's a good call.
There's people that do different things.
They could call it a pecan cake after,
Yes,
perhaps.
absolutely.
As long as Italian or something is in front of it. Is that right?
Yes.
I'm learning today.
Then I'm putting in the sour cream, and that's going to thin the batter out.
Now, how much sour cream is that?
1 pint.
A pint of sour
You
cream.
can buy that at any store. It already comes in a pint.
Now, do you want everything completely blended together before you pour the rest of this in?
Yeah,
or?
everything's going to cream together now, and that should take about maybe 30 seconds or so. And try to use one of these pans. I don't care that much for it because that happens a lot. It comes out.
That happens to
If
me,
you set this in a water bath, don't use this type pan because the water may lift it up on you.
Oh, yeah.
And you may have a soggy bottom. Your cake will sort of flow around, and that's not too nice.
Right.
Okay.
It does, definitely.
That's basically
Loosen
it.
it up a little.
It's nice and creamy, as you can see.
Yeah. Has a great texture.
Yep. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to layer it as we go along and try to do at least 2 layers of the walnut and the
what
cinnamon.
should the oven be preheated to while you're doing this?
375. And you're going to cook this for about an hour.
Okay.
Just check it after an hour to see just where it's at. Some ovens are different than others.
And how do you do the toothpick trick?
I
Or
just
do you have
touch it, and if
something
it
else?
springs back, it's ready.
Got it. Okay, so what do we, well, you're finishing this up. You know that we already have one that has cooked.
Yes.
What's the next thing that we're going to be doing for folks in the next segment?
We're going to go ahead and plate it, the chicken boursin, and we're going to plate the coffee cake. And then I'm going to tell you an Italian joke about my father.
That sounds great.
And that's it, and we're ready to go into the oven now.
Sounds wonderful. Okay, well, let's send it right back over to Cheryl.
An Italian joke about his father.
Ready for it? I think it could be good. You're going to want to come back for this. What a great way to start the day, looking at both food and wine. We are in the kitchen this morning with Executive Master Chef Robert Cillizza from the City Dock Restaurant and Josh Ha, who is the Food and Beverage Director. First of all, we're going to talk about some wine pairings before we get into the actual plating of this deliciousness that is sitting in front of us. Talk to us about the wines that you've chosen for
Sure.
this
Well,
meal.
with the chicken boursin, we went today with the Santa Barbara Winery. Their Sauvignon Blanc from Santa Ynez Valley. And the reason I chose this wine is this Sauvignon Blanc almost drinks like a Chardonnay.
Okay.
It's medium to full-bodied Sauvignon Blanc, and it's got some great crispness to it and good acidity. And that's what you're looking for in any wine when you want to drink it with food. It's great acidity. Now, if you want to go ahead and take the wine, give it a little swirl. That way it opens up the aromas in the wine. Give it a little smell, and you also get some nice florals in there. And the reason for that is they actually blend in about 8% of this wine is Viognier. So in addition to the Sauvignon Blanc, there's Viognier, and in Viogniers, you really have some great floralness. So I think with the Sauvignon Blanc, it just goes so well with the creaminess in the Boursin sauce.
Right.
So.
Well, that sounds delicious. You have one more in front of us
I do,
here?
yes.
Just
with
in case?
With the coffee cake. No, actually, this is going to go with our dessert today.
Oh, great.
This
Wine
is
for dinner, wine for dessert?
This is the Bigarreau, which is a semi-sweet rosé by Elio Perrone, which is Italian, of course. Brought
Italian,
this for
the chef is saying.
His favorite.
Pointing it out.
But it's a light wine, like I said, semi-sweet, and it's actually only 5% alcohol. Whereas typically, by volume, typically wines are anywhere between 11 and 14%.
Okay.
So very light. You could probably even finish your own bottle and still walk around. So.
But maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we shouldn't quite do that, at least not on the show. Who's to say? No, I'm just kidding. Why don't we, thank you so much, first of all, for coming and pairing this with us. And now, let's check the plating of this delicious dish.
Okay, well, the coffee cake needs no introduction. You can see how I did it. There's the cinnamon and the walnuts all mixed together.
It looks beautiful.
And you have to let that stand at least maybe 45 minutes to an hour before you want to cut it so it doesn't crumble. And, it holds its texture. The chicken boursin now, as you can see, I've already went ahead and sliced some of it. You can see how pretty it looks inside. Let this stand for at least 5 to 10 minutes before you cut it so you can handle it. Use a serrated knife and then cut your portions what you think, is good for a person. Usually we cut the whole breast. It's a 6-ounce breast for one portion at the restaurant. And that's how we present it. And then we have the boursin cheese sauce that we made. And we don't want to just bury it. We just want to drizzle it over the top so people can still see the beautiness of what's inside.
So that's my problem. I'm very big on sauces. I know some folks like sauces, so I would just drown it.
Well, we have a lot of people asking for more sauce.
Really?
We always keep it in the back on the stove so they can go ahead and get it. And it's really good. It's really great. But this is really inexpensive to make. It's got a wonderful taste. And as I said, if you don't like the chicken, you can switch to salmon.
Right.
Fillet your salmon, do the same mixture that I did. Put it in the oven, use the same sauce, and you can go either way, and that's great.
And it was all pretty simple to prepare, too. It's definitely something family-oriented, like you said at the beginning.
Yeah. It was my dad, when I came back from the military, he used to have a TV. It was a 1955 Miss America RCA. He wouldn't part with it with the world. You'd have to turn the channels. So when I came home from leave from overseas, I said, Dad, it's the 80s. They have remote control. Why don't you get... He said, listen, when I get that lazy where I can't tell your mother to get up and change the channel, I'll go ahead and buy the remote control.
You are surrounded. Well, I'm surrounded by men right now, though. Wait a minute, I'm out of my element. Usually you can be surrounded by women. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's send right over to Cheryl. Cheryl, what do you think?